G'day guys, and welcome to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about a movie I watched the other day called To the Bone. And it's a movie about eating disorders. But before we get into that, please make sure you give us a like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us get more videos out there in the future. So, To the Bone, I watched it on Netflix the other day and then gave it another watch parts of it again today before shooting this. And it's a movie about eating disorders, and eating disorders is something that I hadn't had a lot to do with in the past, but over the last sort of 12 months I have had a little bit to do with them through clients and stuff like that. And I've been doing a lot more research in the last 12 months about it, so I can try and help in any way I can. And there is some disturbing stuff about eating disorders. About 4% of Australians have eating disorders, and since COVID, eating disorders have increased by 62%. Now, all that sound is quite concerning to me. 4% of Australia is a large number. When we talk about Australia having 25, 26 million people, 4% of that is quite a lot of people. And the fact that it's increased so much in the last sort of 2 years by 62% is quite concerning. So that's why I watched the movie. When I read the little introduction and that's what it was about, I thought I would like to have a look and get their take on it. I also did a little bit of research and background on the movie. So it came out in 2017, so some of you may have already seen it. And the directors and filmmakers actually made the movie because they wanted to shed some light on the subject of eating disorders. In fact, there's even a warning at the start of the movie about the impact that it could have on people. I think their hearts were in the right place when they decided to actually make this movie. It follows the story of a young lady who has an eating disorder and it follows her journey as she goes into a home slash sort of clinic for treatment with in a group setting with other people. Now, some things I really liked about the movie was the diversity of the group they had in there. It was mostly women. Now, we know that eating disorders affect mostly women. However, there was a guy in the group, which eating disorders in males is rising quite quickly, and so that is of a concern. So it was good that they did have a guy in the group, although it is mostly women. They also had a slightly older lady. When I say slightly older, she's probably late 20s, maybe early 30s. Now, we know that eating disorders mostly affects teens through to early 20s. So to have someone who was a bit older was a really good thing, because it does affect people. It won't discriminate against anyone. So it does affect people who are older. It's just most of them are in that age bracket that I mentioned before. The other really good thing that I liked about it was there was a girl who was slightly overweight. Now, when we think about eating disorders, we mainly think of anorexia. But in fact, anorexia only makes up about 3% of all eating disorders. So binge eating is quite a common one. So it was good that they had that in there as well and showed a very diverse group of people. So they really did hit everyone there, and I really liked that. The other thing that I really liked is they focused heavily on eating disorders being a mental illness, which it is. And the struggle that people have with eating disorders is it's not a simple fix. It's not as simple as go and eat a burger and be done with it. A lot of us cannot comprehend where they're coming from. Most of us love food and can control ourselves in eating the right amounts. And so it was really good that they focused on the mental illness side of eating disorders. The other thing I really liked was they showed the impact it has on friends and family. This is something that I don't think we think of too often, but when you have a loved one going through those, through an eating disorder and issues of mental health and and whether it be physical as well, the impact it has on family is quite large. So they did a pretty good job of showing the impact on family. Now, a couple of things I wasn't hugely fussed on with the movie was wasn't a big fan of the ending. Not that the ending is bad as such. It's just I would have liked to see a bit more of the story, and it sort of ended on a positive and at a good point. But I would have liked to have seen a bit more positivity, a bit more of after would have been good, or some sort of a bit more finalisation on it, which I think would have been more beneficial. There was also a few scenes in the movie that I didn't think helped the story in any way, shape or form. It wasn't really needed, and I didn't really like seeing it, mainly one scene in particular, and if you do watch it, you'll probably know which one I'm talking about there. I didn't think it needed to be in there, but apart from that, that's about my only real criticisms I have. And the only other thing that I think is worth mentioning, that I thought it was really good that they didn't shy away from the confrontational side of seeing what eating disorders do to the human body. It is quite confronting to see and hard to watch, and as a father, seeing a young person in that way is really, really hard. So I thought that was a really good thing they did. However, in saying that, it's probably not a movie that you want to sit down and watch with your kids unless your kids are mature enough to be able to take in the content and understand the content of the movie. So I think you need to be a bit aware of that and a bit cautious of that if you're going to sit down and watch with your kids. I would also say, if you suspect your loved one of having an eating disorder, probably don't sit down and watch it with them. It could be a bit triggering, so I probably wouldn't do that. I'd watch it on your own. But it is a good watch. It is worthwhile watching from a parent point of view. Might help you spot a few signs or signals in someone you know or a loved one, and how maybe some ideas on what you can do. So I thought it was quite good in that way as well. So yeah, give it a look, have a watch, let me know what you think. I quite enjoyed it, although it was confrontational. I did enjoy the movie. So, and I think it's a really important thing that we are shedding light on eating disorders, because I think, unfortunately, it's going to be a problem that we see moving forward. And if anyone in our local community is having issues with that, and if I can help in any way, please come and see me. I'm happy to help in any way I can. And it's something that we need to talk more about and see if we can help out our young people in our society with this. So once again, please make sure you give us a like and subscribe, and check out the movie. Let us know what you think, and yeah, that'd be good. Thanks, guys.